Welcome to your new Wrestling Obsession. This is Off the Mat, and today we're bringing you a special episode of Off the Mat as the wrestling releases continue. This time, we're looking at AEW. As AEW releases three massive talents in Malakai Black, Ricky Starks, and Miro. We want to thank everyone who's liked, subscribed, commented, and if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so notifications are turned on so you know whenever we drop a new video of Off the Mat, and leave us comments below and let us know your thoughts, as it goes a long way to help us in the algorithm and show YouTube that you love professional wrestling. Now, we had a massive bombshell today as it was announced that these three stars are departing from AEW with no restrictions. They have no 90-day complete clause. They've been released from their contract. Therefore, their 90-day no compete clauses are null and void, and they can continue and are able to go to any promotion they want as early as today. Let's start with Malakai Black. Malakai Black was one of the most captivating figures AEW has ever had. When Black made his debut, he brought a unique mix of dark charisma, incredible in-ring ability, and a mysterious presence. The House of Black was on the rise, and it looked like AEW was setting him up for something huge. But now with his release, we're left wondering what happened. Well, really, we know what happened. He was thinking about asking for his release previously, got signed a new deal, and now it seems like he's frustrated creatively with what AEW is doing with the House of Black, or he's just more intrigued by WWE now that it is under the tutelage or direction of Triple H, Paul Levesque. So now he wants to leave and go back to WWE, where his wife Selena Vega is as well. This isn't shocking by any means. It's more shocking to us that Tony Khan is actually not being petty in this situation, and he's releasing Malakai Black with no restrictions. There's no 90-day complete cost, so he's able to go to any promotion he wants as soon as today. Now, is he WWE bound? My guess would be yes. He's going to be WWE bound, but it's a matter of where he shows up. I don't think he goes back to NXT because he did a lot of time there as Aleister Black. He did some time as Aleister Black on the main roster too. It just seemed like Vince never saw that direction from Malakai Black that Paul had for him on NXT, and he was very underutilized and very misunderstood on the main roster, which caused him to be released from WWE in the first place. So now that Triple H, Paul Levesque, is in creative direction and control, he's going to go back to WWE and probably see an even bigger push. But I don't expect to see him on the main roster making his debut till either potentially Elimination Chamber. There could be some angle at Elimination Chamber that sets him up to be part of WrestleMania, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is more of a return for the Raw after Mania. Malakai Black is going to do big things, and is going to be a big star and probably draw a lot of interest from other promotions, but I definitely think out of the three, two of these men, and Aleister Black and Ricky Starks, are like 99.9% probably WWE bound. Let's turn our attention now to Ricky Starks, as Ricky Starks is the man with the charisma, a future megastar. Starks had the look, the talent, the promo skills to be one of AEW's top guys. The fans were behind him, especially in his many feuds, most notably with Brian Cage and his time with Team Taz. But despite his undeniable talent, Ricky never kind of got over and kind of got that start in AEW, but it just seemed like after that fizzled out, there was no direction for him. Ricky Starks asked for his contract extension not to be picked up last year. Tony Khan knew he was going to go to WWE because the rumors were out there. His name was very much attached to Penta and Rey Fenix and all that when that situation was going on, when those men were looking at their release. So when Tony Khan picked up Rey Fenix's injury time and added injury time to his contract, he also picked up the option for Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks was a man of his word, was very much willing to stay there and work out the remainder of his contract, but Tony Khan and AEW didn't want to use him on TV. They left him off TV. They granted him permission to work indie shows. He was doing that for the likes of GCW and a couple other indie promotions, where he was later, we seen that his GCW appearances were pulled. He was pulled from appearing in GCW, but was allowed to work other indie shows. And now it looks like he's all but WWE bound, as they showed interest in him early last year when all of this contract talk started, and he asked for his release. I think Ricky Starks is a 99.9% sure he's going to go to NXT. He's going to go to NXT to help bolster that men's roster that's kind of being weak and to fill in spots of the likes of Trick Williams and maybe some others that are undoubtedly going to be called up to the WWE main roster. I think Ricky Starks is an incredible talent that's going to do big things and could even be bigger than the likes of All Ego Ethan Page or, Lexis King or any of the other talent that's come over from AEW to NXT. I think he's going to be an instant success there. He has the charisma, the mic abilities, as I stated before, to instantly bolster that NXT men's division and roster. So I can't wait to see Ricky Starks in NXT sooner rather than later. I think he shows up as soon as maybe Vengeance Day to have an angle there, or potentially before WrestleMania. But I really think in my heart of wrestling hearts that we see Ricky Starks in NXT sooner rather than later. The dark horse in all of these releases for me is Miro. Where does Miro go? I don't know. Do I think Miro draws interest from WWE? Probably. Do I think something happens? I don't know. He's really the one that I'm very unsure about. Personally, I think his WWE and AEW runs perfectly mirror each other. He was strong and booked and pushed strong in the beginning of his time at these companies, then kind of fizzled out. At WWE, he was strong as Rusev. Then he had the Rusev Day gimmick. He had incredible feuds with the likes of John Cena. But then over time, he just kind of fizzled away and out due to injuries or creative direction or whatever it was. But we ultimately saw him ask for his release. He was released by WWE and he went to AEW where he was repackaged as Miro. Same thing. His time in AEW was booked very similar. We had him as his Redeemer persona. He had his reign as TNT champion. It was very impressive. But it felt like AEW didn't fully capitalize on his potential. Was he misused? Did AEW not have a clear direction for him? Whatever the case may be, he is no longer with the company. He was also granted his release after asking for it with no 90-day non-compete clause. He's free to go wherever he wants. I honestly think for Miro, the best thing to do would be to follow the paths of a Drew McIntyre, Matt Cardona, or Cody Rhodes. Kind of go to that independent scene, go work New Japan, go work maybe TNA, go work some of these independent shows, repackage, retool, refocus, build himself up, build that popularity up, and then come back to WWE strong to have a good showing and be undeniable to them. And don't let them book you the way they did before. Be an undeniable talent and not let WWE misuse you the way Vince misused you. Even though that regime's not there, I don't think Triple H would do that. I think if Miro came to WWE, Triple H, Paul Levesque would have, and the creative team would have a good plan for him. But right now, I think the best thing for Miro after he did a stint in WWE and a stint in AEW is to kind of go retool, repackage, refocus, and refine himself on the independent scene and then come back to WWE at a later date. So with AEW letting go of these three incredible talents, what's next for AEW? This is a huge shakeup. These were three stars who had so much to offer that company. From Malakai Black, Miro, and Ricky Starks, they're not going to be out of work for long. Whether it's WWE, New Japan, or independent promotions, they'll find success wherever they go. Fans can expect to see them tearing it up on a global scale sooner rather than later. What do you think of these releases? Were you shocked? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. And until next time, keep wrestling, and we'll see you on Thursday for another episode of Off the Mat.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found.